Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go over a kind of first thoughts review of the Barrina rechargeable puck grow lights. So these have been sold out pretty much all the time, every time I checked, but I finally was able to get a 2-pack and I've kind of played around with them for a little bit. I've put them in different spots and just want to do a little review for you and tell you kind of what my first impressions are and what I think of them. So here we go. So I was pretty excited about these because for me, it's not like, I know it's not going to be growing a, world championship show begonia or something like that. Or, you're not going to have the largest tomato or something at the farmer's market. But for when you have a kind of a weird spot in your house where you don't want to run a huge cord, or maybe you're renting, or you want something for your desk, I'm really excited about this. I think this is perfect, or it's going to be perfect, and it's going to fill that void that a lot of us need. So let's start with what's in the box. What do you get when you purchase one of these? So first, obviously, you get the light. I got the 2-pack. Mainly because that's the only thing that wasn't sold out. So you have your light, you have a little instruction booklet, they give you a charging cord. I mean, I think we all have 1,000 million of these laying around, but I'd also be pissed if I didn't get one in anything that I order. So yeah, you get a charging cord and it's pretty long. I don't know how long this would be, maybe 3 feet? This is folded over twice on itself. Okay, and it charges with USB-C, which I love. You also get a couple different ways to mount it. So you have this mounting plate that you can screw onto the wall. And so this is the wall, for example, and it has this metal here so that the magnet can attach and it can just kind of like swivel around. So then you can, kind of aim it whichever way you want it to go. If you're wanting to do like a more permanent thing, you can attach that to the wall. And it comes with the screws to do that. And then if you maybe can't drill holes in the walls because you're renting, or maybe it's not a place where you could drill a hole, it comes with this metal plate with an adhesive backing so that you can stick it up. So wherever you do, like underside of a shelf, wherever you do this, so if it was like a wall or some other structure that maybe you couldn't drill, you can't angle it. So it does have this with the adhesive. Now I did read online that someone said this can get really hot and sort of melt the adhesive and then it comes off, but I think that's your mileage may vary thing. I probably won't be using this. So now onto the unit itself. So I think it's a great size. It's probably not much bigger or smaller than the other puck lights that are corded. I don't have one, but they look like they're similar. And then everything is controlled by this little touch power thing here. Yeah, sorry, my finger split. So you just hold it down. It turns on, tells you the battery percentage, and then you can do 3-hour, 6-hour, 10-hour timer, or it'll just run until it dies or you turn it off. Now, me personally, I have turned this on and off so many times just by touching it. I'm guessing that a switch mechanism probably took up more space in the unit, and you're probably trying to give it as much battery as possible. So that's fine with me. This is funny, these little knobs here. I've never had a grow light like this, but it's almost like when I'm sitting here with it, I'm just like fidgeting. That's just the weird thing about me. That's not about the light, but it's like a tactile sensory fidget. So I went around my house attaching it to different metal things just to see how strong the magnet was and if it would hold it up. So for example, I have this Hoya carnosa in the corner here, and yeah, it's by window, but I would love for it to get just a little bit more light. So I went over and put this on the metal trellis and it held there. And then I have a Hoya pubicalis on the wall over here. And again, there's a window there, but it seems like it needs a little bit more. And so this part of the lamp was metal, so I just went over and put this on there and it stuck to that just fine. So it can stick to a lot of different surfaces, and it's not so heavy that it won't be able to stay up there. Okay, so we've been through everything kind of just about the light. This is something that I would like to see. So this is a suggestion for Barrina, but for example, I have this plant that's on top of a shelf, and the bottom part of the plant gets great window light, but the top part needs some more light. And I don't want to necessarily drill into the wall right there. I'm kind of, I feel like I'm moving plants around a lot, or if you are renting, you don't want to always be drilling. So I would love it if there was something like this, and I could just stick it into the plant pot, and then I could have the light like this. I don't know if that's something they're working on or they've thought about, but I feel like this would be useful in so many spaces. The metal attachment is so cool, and I'm so excited to have a rechargeable grow light without cords for just like those dark, weird corners or special places. But it would also be nice just to have the plant stake. I don't think it would take up a whole extra room, and they could maybe even do an external thing here, like a little tube, so it could just like rest on it, and then you could just pull it off to charge it. And so all of the attachment could be external, leaving space in the unit for the battery and all the mechanisms so that it can remain small and light. It could just be super plastic, something like that. So, that would just be my one teensy little suggestion. I almost dropped it. But other than that, I'm really excited to have something like this for my plants. Again, I know that people are, I always turn it on. I'm always turning it on accident. There we go. I know that, people are complaining, well, it's not very powerful. Well, that's not what it's for. Again, you're not growing the largest pumpkin to take to the show. This is for random weird spots, just to give your plant a little more light and not have bulky cords coming everywhere. And I am so excited about that, and I'm going to be using it. I actually got two packs, so I got 4, and I think I'm going to be using the heck out of them. So I'm very excited. Thank you, Barrina. And if you were able to get one of these, let me know if you're using it, where you've put it. If you have any suggestions too, this was the only one I thought of, but all of you guys are so creative and smart that you probably have other ideas too. Or maybe you have a better idea than my very simple-minded Sid the Sloth with my stick. So yes, very excited about these. I think it's worth the buy. They're really not that expensive, especially if you just need to give that random corner or spot a little more light. And, you don't want a cord ruining that or having to, drill into the wall or something. Yes, I'm excited.